Hey, I'm Suzy. Welcome to 30 Minutes of Dance. Today's class is a dancer's cross-training workout that is focused on centering and grounding. If you have a yoga mat, feel free to roll it out, or you could do this on a rug. We'll begin standing and then work our way down onto the floor. I'll also be using a block and a strap today. If you don't have those, you could always use a folded blanket that will give us a little bit of feedback and help us with some core work. And you could use a hand towel if you like to help assist in some of our final stretches. So clear your space. Feel free to be barefoot with me, or you could wear athletic shoes, any dance shoes, socks even, and have some water nearby. Stay hydrated, move at your own pace, and let's begin. So as we center and ground ourselves, our pattern today is going to be using a circle, just easy, small circles to help stir our energy and to kind of hone in and center ourselves. So beginning simply by feeling a weight shift that kind of circles up and over from the right foot down through 2 feet, up and over to the left and right. So it's almost like the hips are starting this kind of swirly action up and over. If you need to stay really small here, you can keep both feet anchored. If it feels good to you to kind of come up and over through the balls of the feet, go for it. Now switch to the direction, nice easy up and over, foot to foot. So feel that weight shift. And again, if you need to stay more grounded, keep the heels down and just feel the energy shift, rise, shift, and ground. Bring the hands to the hips, step your feet in, and then glance down at your feet, exploring moving through all 4 corners of your feet, or almost like you were wearing roller skates and you could feel all 4 wheels under each foot. And as you shift the weight forward, easy knees, start to swirl, hips under, or feet under your hips, and then start to swirl to the right, center left, forward right, back towards the heels, to the left. So you may even feel like you could pick up the balls of the feet, little toes, and sort of spread them out, but keep the heels heavy. Let's try the other direction. So from the ground up, we start to deepen our base. Good, just feeling the toes almost like fingers spreading into, imagine the sand beneath you. Come back to center. Lift and shift the weight up and over to your left side. Use a wall or a chair if you need for standing balance on one foot, or you can keep the hands on the hips. That might be helpful to cinch the waist and pull up and off of the base. So stay on the ball of the foot and then start to circle towards the point of the toe down to the heel. So we're stirring the ankle. It might feel kind of jazzy to stir the wrist as well. And then switch the direction of your circles. Kind of flamenco movement through the hands. All right, just everything should feel like a dance, even these isolations. Good, shift and lift, stepping across, coming to the other side. And as you come to this, ball of the foot, and then start to turn it in and circle and stir around. Again, hands to hips, use support, and then switch the direction of your circles. I don't know, it helps me to look. Yeah, and then the hands, oh, I almost forgot. And then gently come back to the center. Step the feet out. Let's come up and over again. Take your circle just 3 times in each direction. Switch up and around. Upper body's loose and easy. Back to center. Now, right side, imagine the knee is starting this circle. You could be on the ball of the foot the whole time if that feels good, but just imagine it's the knee moving 3 times and then circle in the other direction. You'll want to move the hips. We will. You'll want to move the ankles. but just shifting, lifting, other side, focus. Put your mind's eye in the knee joint and imagine you're moving the knee in a big circle, and then switch. And it's just the knee, imagine. Back to center, shift up and over to the right and around. Maybe the hands can help, and stir a little bit larger, and then other direction, up and around. Good, centering and grounding. Now, lift and shift. We'll focus on the hip. So sit in the left hip and start to stir just your right hip. Imagine you could move the right and left hips independently. And then other direction. Bend in the knees, easy hinge at the hips. Last one. Let's just drop swing. Left side, take it out and around. Pull in and pull up through the low belly. Good, one more. Switch directions. Gonna send the tail back and around and forward. Last one, to the center, deep bend. Now, let's take the hips forward, right, back, and around. Now it's an easy sort of swing. Let it stir now. See if you can smooth out any edges in the movement. Arms can just be out to the side or back slightly behind you, palms toward me. Other direction. This is how we release the low back. Let's take it slow to start. Good. Grounding down and then stirring it up as you go around. Bend the knees. Send the tail back. Feel this massaging. One more. Back to center. Good. From here, step the feet together. Bend the knees, and like you're sitting back in a chair, just take the hands towards the thighs, maybe towards your knees, and then start to stir from the ankles to the knees to the hips in the right direction. Everything's moving in the right direction. And then switch it. Other side. Good. You'll feel the shift from knee to knee, ankle to ankle, hip to hip. Back to the center, plie, reach out and up, step the feet out. Now, as you come into like a second position, demi-plie, it doesn't have to be too deep here. Take the energy, shift toward your right, so left leg's a bit of a lunge, and then you're gonna come up and around to the left side, lunge. In between, we have that plie. Up and over, and plie. Good. Now again, if you need hands on the hips, other side, swing, up and around, straight leg, swing, in through the plie in the center. So we get nice and grounded in the lower body, upper body, strong and connected to the core. Come back to the middle, now just plie, hip, plie, hip, plie, hip. Let the feet kind of go with it. So dig in and then pop the hip out. Dig in, pop the hip out. Don't actually, just sort of push it. You can even snap if that feels good. Good, now back to the middle. Just walk them in. Now, as you come into, it could be plie parallel, second position, or turned slightly out. Doesn't have to be really wide. Functional framework here. And then gently, as you shift the weight to your right arm reaches, little side bend, and then elbow in, then sweep across, and then open the arm back up. Left side, reach, up and over, elbow in, sweep, open it up. Plie, and cross, plie. Other arm in front. So you feel that drop swing, and the freedom in the upper body. Now all the way up and around. 3 times. And now other direction. Woo. Good. Now from here, reach out. Reach side to side. Almost, if you were sort of towel drying, you have a towel behind you, and you're just getting sort of squeaky, flossing side to side. I feel the rib cage moving. And then from here, bend the knees. You can keep the hands on the rib cage, maybe to feel the ribs move very small shift to the right and shift to the left. May not even see it on my body, it's very subtle. But feeling like you could pick up all 4 corners of your rib cage and lift them up and off of the pelvis. Breathe into the back ribs. And then imagine stirring the ribs forward, side. Breathing into the back ribs, side. Again, easy stirring. Might even feel more like a belly dance. Very subtle. Other direction. Keep bending the knees. Sense the shift from the hips to the ribs, right? Hips and ribs moving in opposite directions. Now, from here, take your right fingertips to your shoulder. If that's too much, you could come into more of a 90-degree angle, or like cactus arms. Then you're gonna reach, elbow in, and then take a little stir across. Elbow in, stir across. Feel how the rib cage is creating this circle. Now you can keep the fingertips on the elbow and sense that rib cage dipping across, diagonal. Good, now go in the other direction. Oh. And the weight shifts side to side. Feeling your weight into the low back. Again, if it's a straight arm, reaching. All right, longer lever here, might make it a little harder. Come back to center, inhale, roll the shoulders, straighten the legs. Exhale, relax. Notice the difference in the length of the arms, the connection to your rib cage, your lungs, your wings. Inhale, reach out and up, and then exhale. Other side, demi-plie, fingertips, goalpost, and then shifting across, up and around. So the rib cage is crossing, stretching up, reaching to the side and around. Pull the navel in. Up to you if it feels better to do this with the elbow. Kind of like to do both. Switch the direction. And you sense the rotation of the torso. Again, longer arm, but it's subtle. Stay connected. Pull the navel in, lift the top of the pubic bone, up, and then reach out, lift the pelvic floor, and exhale. Reach the arms out, heel, toe the feet together as you bring yourself to the center. Turning toward your props and use the chair if you need as we step back, hands to hips. Stepping into a runner's lunge, your lucky leg steps you back, coming down to the knee and then to the hands and the knees. When you get here, that same circular motion, I want you to imagine you're drawing a circle on your mat or the floor with your navel. Shifting forward, hand to hand, knee, hip, knee, hand. And then other direction, funnel the navel in, stir, keep breathing. Nice, last one. Come back to the center, shoulder rolls here. Really spread the hands out like wide fans. You can bend the elbows. Find a nice long spine, inhale. Exhale, extend from the tail to the crown. Now, lift and shift your weight to the right hip, the right knee, top of the foot, and then lift the left low belly, the left hip, the left knee, shin, and foot. Then send the leg down and slightly out, and then pull, hike it up. Down and out, pull in, hike it up. Good, lower down. Sit down if you need, come off the fingertips, maybe hips to heels if that's too low. Stay higher. And then gently reset your palms, roll the shoulders, elbows bent, roll the shoulders. Keep the gaze straight down, right on the spine, the head and tail connected. As you come to the second side, we'll lift and shift to the left hip, top of the foot, press down, pull in through your navel, pull up from the knee, and the shin and the top of the foot. So you hike the hip up, and then lower down, but send it out. Hike it up, lower down and send it out. Hike it up, down and out. Pull in, pull up, reset your knees. Again, sit back, walk your hands forward now. Come to the elbows. Now you can rest with the palms down. Might feel good to interlace the hands. From here, inhale, lift and shift, coming to the right knee, top of the foot, push down. So same idea, we're gonna lift the hip, lift the knee, but then do a tiny circle with the knee, imagine, on the floor underneath you. So very small, 3 in one direction, and then switch the direction. Breathe, pull the navel in, kind of fill up the back body. Good, draw the knee in towards you slightly, and press it down. Relax, come off your hands. It might even feel good to sit all the way up onto the knees, curl the toes under. Take a deep breath in, like you're zipping up the front body, pouring the tailbone straight down. And then gently, second side, crawl it back out, coming to all fours. Lift and shift your weight, shrug it over to the left side, tops of the feet. Hike the hip up. Then start to draw that circle with the right knee, very small. Keep pulling with the hands. Draw the navel in, shrug the shoulders, and then switch the direction. Tiny circle with the knee on the floor. Just plugging the leg into the body. Good. Last one brings you back down. And again, you can sit hips to heels. If that feels good, stay for a breath or two. If you need to come up off the knees some, curling the toes under, knees hips width. Roll the shoulders, and then transition, crawling forward. Find your way to your right hip. With your gear nearby, come on down to side lie. You can take the right arm and thread it through. And come on to your back. As you adjust on the mat, again, make sure that you have your props handy. And yeah, they're handy. We'll use the block first. So find that, have it nearby. And then draw your right knee in towards your chest. Left leg's gonna stay planted. So the same circle we just did with our hips, we'll do it now here on our back. So you could use the hands and maybe even interlace them around the knee. If you can't quite get a hold of your knee, you could even use the strap here. Now, circle the knee, in, out, away, and around. Just 3. Now switch the direction. Notice how this affects the back of the body. Low back, mid back, upper back, neck, and shoulders. Come back to center, draw the knee in. Plant the foot, pause, arms wide, just breathe. Notice how it feels, how connected the right hip to the earth, the relationship between the rib cage and the hips. Take a deep breath. Left side, draw the knee in. Hands, or use your strap around the shin, and start to circle in, out, around, and across. as though you were drawing a deep well in the sand beneath your left hip. Switch the direction. This is a massage from the inside out as you bring the knee back in and lower down. Take a moment, stretch the arms out. Big breath. Exhale, release. Now, both feet stay on the floor. Arms can stay by your side if it feels good. And then take a circle. Imagine the whole pelvis now stirring. Like at the back of the body, you were trying to create a deeper and deeper well for the hips to settle and nestle into. Switch the direction of the circle. Massage over each hip. Back to center. Now, draw one knee at a time in toward you. Right hand to your right knee, left hand to your left knee. Draw both knees in. Let the shoulders do this work as you take the legs out to the side like a frog, setting them away. Use your inner thighs to pull in. Use your core, draw the knees in, and again, let your legs float out, in, up, and around. And the shoulders go with. Other direction. Easy grip on the knees. Massaging the thigh bones into the well of the pelvis. Last one, come back to center. Plant your feet on the floor. Now reach for your block and bring the block or a folded blanket between the inner thighs. So you just have something to squeeze. So it helps you feel as though you are zipping up from the base, kind of rooting and lifting into the core. Breathe into your center. Now lift the hips just an inch off the floor, maybe 2. So you can have a little bit of space like this bridge underneath the body here. And then arms out, palms up. Take a circle without taking the hips back down. It doesn't have to be really big. It's just easy does it. One more. Switch the direction as you sweep down and around. Notice the change in the hips, the knees, the ankles, the feet. Good. Come back to center, lower down, arms by your side. Press up, arms up and over. Any amount. If the arms don't go overhead very easily, come back down. You can keep the hands out to the side and simply move the hips up and down, snuggling the daylight out of the inner thighs there with the block. One more, up and down. Good, inhale. Now you might keep the hands by your side or even underneath the pelvis if you need a bit of support under the hips for the low back, or arms out, palms up. From here, one knee, then the other. Gather the knees toward you, reset the block. So again, you're snuggling and come to a tabletop position. Now this may be slightly challenging for some of us. Arms out. I say us, it's me. This is challenging. This is hard for me. I hope you're doing okay. So from here, we're gonna do a tiny circle, but try to keep the legs at tabletop, not down here collapsed, but out at a 90-degree angle, and energy through the balls of the feet as you stir. The hips don't come off the floor necessarily, right? You might lean a little more to one side and then pull in, pull up to the other side. Send the legs away slightly, but without kind of losing your connection to the floor and your low back. Other direction. All right, so it's small and contained, and you stay centered. Good, last one, back to the middle. Now flex your feet. Go on a diagonal to your right, an inch or 2, not all the way over, and then back to center. Flex the feet, other side. And then back to the center. Now, If it feels good to you to just rock it right, pull the navel in as you exhale and left. Pull the navel in as you exhale, keep hugging the block. Feet are flexed. Good, last one. Plant your feet one at a time. Lift the hips one last time. Take your circle here. Maybe you can go a little higher now. Stirring. And then other direction. How does this feel in the back of the ribs, the shoulder blades, the arms, the shoulders into the ears, even the back of the head, the base of the skull? What do you feel and sense? Inhale. Exhale, lower all the way down. Now release the block. Set it off to the side. Take your strap now and lasso the strap around the ball of your right foot. Now, the right leg doesn't have to be straight for this at all. It matters not. You'll walk your hand up or your hands up each side of the strap. If your leg's here, it all works. If your leg's bent, it all works. Just breathe and think about the hips, all this work we've been doing. I want you to stir the right hip deeper down into the nook of your hip. And the leg's bent-ish, straight-ish, but you're plugging other direction, the thigh bone down into the hip socket. And using this to release the leg down into the hip and free up the low back. Good, walk the arms up, straighten the leg any amount, lengthen your spine, relax the shoulders. Take another deep breath. And then gently release the leg. You're gonna take the right ankle across towards figure 4. Rather than bringing the shape in toward you today, all I want you to do is rock the leg out, so you're turning it out, and then either come back to neutral, right heel on the knee, right foot on the thigh, and let the leg turn in slightly. And then that's it. Ankle, turn it out, rock it in, step and cross. Turn it out. One more. This time, keep the foot stacked on top of the left knee and then send the left leg long. You're already in the twist. Let's open it up. Rock it to the side, let it turn out and fall over, but don't let the whole shape fall to the left. See if you can hold true to center. Stay grounded across the chest, shoulders, the heart. Stay grounded in your mind. As you meet the challenge, come back to center. Draw knee in. Stretch your arms up and your legs out. Notice the difference in sides. Left side. Plant your right foot. Loop and lasso the left foot. Stepping up to the sky. And again, your choice, your range of motion. And then stir. Just circles. 3 deep circles in one direction. Now rewind it. And stir. Keep breathing. And now from here, come back to the center, kick it toward you. Release, cross it over. Turn it out, turn it in. Ankle, heel or top of the foot, opening it out without forcing it. Now top of the foot on the thigh, and pull it in, send the opposite leg out, and then unwind. Wring it out, easy twist. Let your whole spine unravel. All right, you stay true to center, even when you feel like you're being pulled in opposite directions. Back to the middle, hug the knee in. Stretch the arms and the legs like a big yawn. And then pull it all into the center, big hug. You might use one hand behind your head if you feel any tension in the neck. but just get as round as you can possibly be. And then roll to your side. Let me rewind this from side lying, pressing up. Deep breath, all fours. This slow-mo transition, once you get there, curl the toes under. Maybe there's a moment where you press the hips towards the heels. And then shift forward, stepping one foot through a lunge, using support or hands to hips, push off. Step up, stand tall. Then come back to the very beginning. Just notice how you feel. Up and over. Big circles. Other direction. I don't know if you heard that. Oh, I'm freeing up lots of energy. Something on me is wide open now. That was a good crack. And then give yourself a hug. And then open it up. A hug is a circle. Yes. One more each side. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm Suzy. I look forward to dancing with you again soon.